Hi, Casey here. I am doing a little brief live broadcast. It is about 6:20 Eastern Daylight Time on a Wednesday evening here in the US. And I had advised on my Patreon page, which is a site where people can literally become patrons of creators, that if I reached a certain level of contributions, I would add a live YouTube and a live Facebook event every week. I already do YouTube Live at 9 a.m. Eastern on Monday mornings and Facebook Live at 9 a.m. Saturday mornings. And so I'm adding this. I'll go ahead and just jump on in on a couple of topics, and I hope that you will jump in with questions and comments. That would be great if you would do that. Excuse me while I always have to kind of rig this up. For those of you who are veterans of these events, there's a little bit of a time delay and they're two separate screens. So I appreciate you indulging me. Hi, Marion. Hi. And hi all. I'm plugging in my computer because I just see that it's getting low. I want to be clear. Someone has mentioned that there was an video I did earlier today, not a live event, but an event. A video. It wasn't about a mean stalker. It was somebody who did not express themselves the best way possible, and we can all learn questions from that. And we learn lessons from that. It was, to cut to the chase, on a Facebook page that I created, Keto After 40 and Beyond. Someone came in, and I don't ascribe any malintent, but I was getting messages that the way the person had described things was not the most positive, and there was getting to be some feedback. So anyway. Look at the other video if you want. It's not that interesting. Hi. I'm so happy to say hey to everybody. And I wanted to go ahead and grab a couple of topics, and then I want to take some questions if anyone has them. Not that I have all the answers, but I'm happy to share with you my experience on the ketogenic diet. 95.4 pounds. I'm very happy after 3 years. And I'm happy to share what has worked for me. Different things work for different people. But I think I'm probably close to a normal person. So if the ketogenic diet works for me, it might work for other people too, no matter what your age. Someone asked that I talk, hi from Nova Scotia, hi. Talk about what is a carb. It seems kind of basic. But, then when I think about it, I didn't really know what a carb was. When I started, why should I know? I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, not a scientist, didn't care about it. All I knew is that we were supposed to eat from the food pyramid and get grains in. So for those, and if someone has a better definition, please chime in. Please write and I will read it. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you again as well. A carb is, by and large, anything that is not an animal product. I talked about this, I think, on the other live event, but I think it bears repeating. A carb is anything, for the most part, carbohydrate is what it's, carbohydrate is the actual word, carbohydrate. It's Latin for carbon and water, and that's what that's made up of. Pretty much anything that is a plant product, anything that is not an animal product. And hey, Frida B, I like that. It's in the evening, and so I'm having lemonade instead of coffee. I don't have any wine in the house. So that's what a carb is. So if you're just getting started and you're trying to figure out what is all this about keeping carbs low, there are a lot of good resources for finding out how many grams of carbohydrate are in whatever food. They're all over the place. Carb counters. MyFitnessPal does it. Many, many good ones. Keep your grams of carb below about 20. I mean, that's what I do. I keep mine lower than that. Some can go higher. And then everything else is a fat or a protein. That's a really simplistic way of looking at it, but that's what it is. And keep in mind that carbohydrate is the same as sugar, okay? It's just kind of all, it's different forms of sugar as far as your liver is concerned. So there's that. I'm going to talk about something I haven't talked about that much recently. I've alluded to it, but it comes up, the question comes up often. Let me adjust my thing here. The question comes up often enough that I do want to address it. What about skin? What happens when you lose weight? What happens to the skin? And I'll tell you that many people appear to be, from what I can interpret from what they write and call me about, concerned, what if I lose weight and I have all this excess skin? Legitimate, understandable concern, particularly if you're a younger person and you don't want to walk around with a lot of extra skin. I'll tell you, for me, I didn't care. I just didn't want to take insulin for diabetes. That was all it was. And then the weight fell off. I'd been heavy for so long that I didn't care about the skin. But I'm going to be really blunt with you here. My skin is in much better shape than I would have anticipated for someone my age and to have lost as much as I've lost. I don't have an answer for it. And I will share with you, I had a doctor's appointment a couple of days ago, just an annual. And I hadn't seen my doctor in 50 pounds. And I've lost 95. So I'd seen her after I'd lost, about 40 or so. And she was doing her normal thing, you have the gown on and you lay down and she palpates and pushes and pulls stuff up. And she went like this. She said, "I'm sorry. How do you not have more skin folds for having lost as much weight as you've lost? And you're only 5 feet 1 inch tall." When a medical doctor says that, and she's seen some skin, I don't have an answer. It could be that I've lost very slowly. It's taken me 3 years to get to this point. I lost about 80 pounds the first 2 years. I lost 47 pounds the first year, and then 34 or 33, whatever the next year. 40, I don't know, something like that. And then, so I've lost slowly, which was okay by me. Every step in the right direction was a step in the right direction as far as I was concerned. So maybe it was that. And she was kind of shaking her head because she said, no, she said, the way I was taught, if skin stretches, it doesn't go back. And I've had 3 children. And my second child was 10 pounds. It was a huge baby. There's absolutely no reason. I was totally perfectly round. But I don't know whether it might be, as Dr. Stephen Finney says, the world expert on this, when you're a ketone burner as opposed to a glucose burner, the rules are different. Your body's different, and your skin is an organ. It's our largest organ, for those of you who don't know. If you're ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the question is, what's the body's largest organ? It's your skin. And it is impacted by body chemistry just the way every other organ is. I know my liver's in better shape, my kidneys are in great shape, my brain is in better shape, my heart is great, everything's good. Maybe our skin reacts differently to this weight loss differently when you're burning ketones than when you're burning glucose. I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question. It might be stupid, dumb luck. It clearly might. It could be just genetics. And I will tell you that if it's genetics, it's simply making up for the fact that I have cankles. That was genetics too. And all 3 of my children have cankles. My husband has the most beautiful ankles ever. Beautiful trim ankles. Both sons of my daughter, cankles. Me too. I don't have an answer. I could stand, if someone threw a free tummy tuck my way, I would take it. I did go to a cosmetic surgeon recently, and I think I've already shared that with you, and he didn't say I need that much done either. I would like a redoing of my mastectomy. As I've said before, when you are a really big person and you have a mastectomy and a silicone implant on one side and a natural breast on the other, and then you lose 95 pounds, what happens? The natural breast loses weight, the silicone implant does not. So I'm lopsided. So I'd like to have a revision of that, but we'll see about that. Okay, so I'm going to, that's really kind of all I wanted to say. I thought this was kind of a nice time to get together in a different time zone, time of day for people in different places, because I know we have someone from Nova Scotia. I know there's someone from Amsterdam who likes to tune in. She might be in bed by now, but maybe some West Coasters are here. Yeah, my girls are not twins anymore, not even close. They're like Mutt and Jeff. So these are going by pretty quickly. Losing slowly, as long as you are losing, definitely does help with saggy skin issue to a point. The rules are different. Carbs, aka sugar, ages us, unwinding the telomeres, reversing aging. I believe that. The rules are different. Something's different about me. A lot of things are different about me. And I'm happy for essentially every single one of those differences. I have not found a downside to this yet. Now, I'm in ketosis, which is different than just losing weight. That's a whole other conversation. Not everyone needs to be in ketosis to lose weight. Not everyone who is in ketosis loses weight. We've had that conversation before, because if you're in ketosis and you're overeating dietary fat, you won't necessarily lose weight. If you're putting it in your mouth, it's not going to come off your tuchus. But I have had nothing but upside benefits from being in ketosis. The weight loss was a great side effect, but my blood sugar is regulated, my mood is regulated, my energy is returned, my brain is returned, my inflammation is gone. It's a miracle, okay? So I'm going to try. Does anyone have an actual question? My weight loss, Marion says my weight loss, pounds-wise, is not great, but you're down 16 inches and 2 dress sizes? You're down over a foot wow, that is fantastic. Congratulations, Marion. Okay, Bonnie, I'm so glad. You can only watch on Saturday AM and you're glad to see this time. The inflammation out of your life is worth it all. And isn't that the truth? If it has been physically painful to walk, to get up off the sofa, to get out of bed, to get out of your car, to just have your hands hurt, worth the price of admission, giving up chips, right? Keto Queen, your fibromyalgia is gone. I have a friend with fibromyalgia. I can't get her to pay attention. I don't proselytize. I don't talk this up amongst my friends. Yes, Nancy, what is cankles? When your calf has shifted into your ankle. That's where it comes from. My calf doesn't start, Anyway, I have a friend with fibromyalgia. If you're watching, sweetheart, I wish you would try this, because I think there is some good evidence that it can help. Will you be meeting with Dr. Westman again? I don't meet with Dr. Westman, okay? I'm not a patient of his. There's a monthly support group meeting the first Tuesday of every month in Durham, North Carolina. And recently I've been honored to he asked me to help moderate those. There was a wonderful woman doing it, and her life simply became extremely busy, and she was not able to make all those meetings. So Dr. Westman asked if I would. So I see him. I don't meet with him. And I can try to ask him questions. But the people who are at the meeting are the ones that get first dibs on questions. If you have a question, I'm happy to try to pass it along. So shoot it. So your friend has fibro and she's doing better as well. That is so great. Is losing weight harder during menopause? Asks 7 Ethereal 7. I tell you what, I've been in menopause, as far as I know, for a really long time. I haven't had a uterus since I was 31. But I assume I was in menopause from my early 50s. And I lost this starting at age 55. It didn't fall off me like a stone, but it fell off at quick enough pace that I loved it. So if someone tells you you can't lose weight after menopause, they're simply misinformed, okay? It can be done. It can be done. Okay, your sister has fibro and she lost 6 pounds her first week. Okay, this is another, okay, Joanne. Casey, you wanted to know how I'm doing with the keto diet. Your seizures. I have good ones, but yesterday had a bad one. You still don't know yet. Okay. I don't want to put your business out there. Oh, my lovely mate just pulled up on his motorcycle. So I'm going to tip like this because he does not want to be on camera. He's a very good-looking man, but he prefers not to be on camera. And he just rolled up in his motorcycle. Yes, my husband is a general aviation pilot, and he has a motorcycle, and he's a cyclist. He's the coolest dude ever. Joanne, I don't want to put your business out there, but you've been very open. Joanne has epilepsy, and she's been trying to see that if it's the same with children with epilepsy, whether this diet can help with seizures. And it sounds like jury is out on that. I hope it does improve for you, Joanne. Your husband is also doing it, 34 pounds in 4 months. This is another topic, okay? One of my coaching clients pointed this up, and she wanted me to kind of, Erica's trying to, share, you know, on some of the sites, some of the YouTube things, you'll see people that, oh, the weight just is like someone opened a tap, and the weight just dropped off of them. And people compare themselves with that, particularly the men. If there are many men here, we love you guys. But it is a different, seems like with much in life, there's a different set of rules between the genders. And men tend to lose pretty quickly. Said it before, say it again. My husband, who never really had a weight problem, but had put on a little middle-age spread after age 50, started following this at 8 p.m. one night and 7 a.m. the next morning. He had lost 20 pounds. That's not exactly right, but that's pretty close. Don't compare yourself to anyone else's weight loss. Compare yourself to my weight loss. It was not particularly fast. If you want to feel better about yourself, compare it to mine. You know, I lost 8 pounds the first week, but then it was talking in increments of 1.7, 1.1, up, down. Here's the thing. Excuse me. If your weight loss is going slower than you had imagined or hoped, reconfigure your goals. Start asking yourself, do I have a headache every day now? Do I have to take a nap at 2:30 or search the hallways for something to eat? Do my knees hurt all the time? Am I now able to remember my own telephone number, whereas, 2 months ago I couldn't remember it? Reconfigure your goals. Am I now able to actually button my pants and zip them? Or maybe you can button and zip a pair of pants you hadn't worn in a while. The scale is only part of it. The scale is only part of it. If I said it all the way along. If I said it after I lost the first 30 pounds, if I don't lose another ounce, I feel so much better, I don't care. Quit worrying about the cosmetic piece of this. Start embracing the health, the better life, the empowerment of it, the idea that you're not constantly thinking of food, that you're not compelled to think about food and eat food all the time. And there are so many other benefits. People, if I start saying, what's your top 3 things, and I'm pointing to the comments over here, you can't see, comments are right there. Top 3 things that happen to you. I bet you we get 25 different things in a minute. Yes, genes are a good weight loss indicator. Linnea, my question, I've seen a lot of people in the groups, including myself, complain about having blood clots during Shark Week. Why is that? I know TMI, but I really need to know, why does this happen? Sweetheart, I cannot speak to that. Like I said, haven't had a uterus since I was 31. So I'm going to let my husband know that we are live and that he is not on camera so that he can sneak in. I didn't want him walking in unawares. I can't speak to that. Maybe someone else has some information. I'm trying to focus on all the benefits as opposed to just the weight loss. Bend over and tie shoes. You know what I can do now? This is unheard of. I can stand up. I can be standing up. I can have my sneakers. I can stand on one foot and slip my shoe on while my other leg, I'm standing like this and putting my shoe on this. I used to have to sit down on something and then pull my ankle up by the ankle of the pants to get my foot to a place where I could put my shoe on. Now I can stand and just put my shoes on. Being able to bend over and tie your shoes, fantastic. I don't know whether you've heard me speak about the first time I realized I'd actually crossed my legs. It was a wonderful moment in my life. I was sitting on the sofa. I was 3 feet away from my husband. He was in his chair. I said, "Oh my God, look." He said, "What?" I said, "I just crossed my legs." He didn't realize that all these years I couldn't cross my legs. There are things that you deal with when you're a big person that people who are not big just simply don't realize that you even think about. They don't realize that it's even an issue. Has anyone in this room ever worried about sitting on a flimsy chair? Picnics, disaster. Folding lawn chairs, forget about it. I would stand up for 6 hours straight before I would try to sit on one of those things. Okay, and I'm trying to look at comments now. Hi, Casey, made it through surgery. Now dealing with huge fluid retention. Bed rest for 2 weeks. I said, as you stated, I'm allergic to everything. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, no Velcro sneakers, right? 7-3-7. What does 20 grams of carbs typically look like? Mine almost all come from vegetables, the days that I eat vegetables. And that's topping out at about 4 ounces by weight for me, okay? 4 ounces of zucchini, 4 ounces of green beans, 4 ounces of broccoli, etc. That's kind of, now that's not 20 grams, okay? The rest of the food that I ate during the day, which might have 1 gram or 2 grams are here. But it is hard to imagine what 20 grams of anything looks like. But that is kind of here's what the rule is per Dr. Westman, to keep it simple. Eat fatty cuts of protein, eggs and dairy, up to limits, 2 ounces of cheese or whatever. But on leafy vegetables, the size of, my ring's right so you can see my bling, the size of about 2 fists of leafy greens and a size of about 1 fist of non-starchy vegetables. That's about where you want to top out. Just texted my mom during church before last and told her, I crossed my legs, Bonnie. Isn't that great to cross your legs? Oh. When you get in the car and your tummy doesn't hit the steering wheel, that's great. Lady Fairfax 33 says 4 cups of chopped cabbage. Okay, so that's kind of a good visual, right? That's big. That's big. And now I'm looking to see if there are any. Yeah, keep the majority of your greens, your carbs, green leafy vegetables, and a cup of veggies. That's a really good rule of thumb. Okay, I had my door open just in case Piper and Atticus wanted to come and go, because you know they love to get in the frame. And now I'm chilly, so I'm going to close the door. Hold, please. Okay, there we are. You lost 13 pounds without trying. I lost 13 pounds. Okay, I'm not sure I quite understand that. I left a 2-year vegan diet to go keto, and some comments I'm getting are quite amusing. I bet. I bet. Nancy Jackson, hi Casey. You lost 93 pounds and have lost and lots of loose skin, but you're healthy and you don't care. Yeah, the skin is a question. I mean, not that I'm perfect. I ain't wearing a bikini anytime soon. At least not except in front of my husband. And I have crepey skin. I mean, you know, I'm 58. I think I would have had this anyway, but who knows? But it's not as bad as I thought it would have been. Vegans, okay, well, we won't worry about who might be militant or not. Okay, I don't want to overstay my welcome. So if anyone has any particular questions, I do want to thank everyone that has been so supportive. I'm going to try to think about when to do a Facebook Live event. And I would love to have some questions for these live events, some topics rather. I like to kind of mix it up, me kind of talking and then taking some comments or questions. Oh, my ring size. Hi, Kirby, darling girl. Kirby, I will tell you, you know, folks, you don't want to have favorites when you're, you know, I have a favorite. I love my Kirby Keto. I don't know my ring size. My rings are quite loose. And this, I used to, at points, not be able to even close to getting it off. And for a while, I'd quit wearing it. Bye-bye. Free to be me. Thank you. I'm okay with my skin. I'm okay with it. And, you know, this is a new revelation for me, saying I'm okay with anything about myself. But I am okay. Donna M, is fruit-infused water okay for keto? You know, if it's actual fruit, be careful because fruit is nature's candy. Fruit is sugar. So just be careful. Look at the carb counts. You can take your wedding ring off after 10 years. Lady Fairfax, 33. Wow. Wow. Do you know of anything that can curb sugar cravings? 7 Ethereal 7. Getting through this and making sure your carbs are, getting into ketosis will help. So you need to have your carbs sufficiently low so that your liver quits putting out glucose. If you quit putting sugar into your system, glucose is sugar, your system will quit craving sugar. It won't ask for it anymore. Your brain won't ask for it. So the best way to get through the cravings is get through the cravings. Sounds trite, but it's true. Is anyone here, can anyone attest to the fact that they no longer crave sugar? They no longer even want it. They look at certain things that they used to eat every day and say, ugh, I don't even want that. Your goal is size 29 jeans. 1 apple will be about 20 grams of carbs. Right, so you don't want to eat an apple. Fruit is going to kill you in a minute. You just don't have room for anything else. What are the best sugar-free sugars to take? And I do believe someone asked about stevia as opposed to sucralose and all this. In our household, we use Splenda. I know some people feel very strongly about artificial sweeteners. I believe there's just as much bad science out about the dangers of artificial sweeteners as there was about fat. And I question who sponsored those research, who sponsored the research. If the sugar industry came out to say that artificial sweeteners are deadly, look at it with a scant eye. Kirby Keto says you can pay me to eat sugar. And I know for a fact that girl used to like her sugar. I know it. Okay, Sammy Robinson says, yes, as long as I'm in ketosis, no cravings. And that has been my experience. I do not want anything. Ketosis kills my cravings, kills my appetite for that matter. I think a great topic for future would be short primer on how to read a nutrition label. That's a great idea. It seems lots of folks ask if certain stuff is okay. The labels on everything tells the story. That is a great idea. Asking for answers. Sugar-free Jello with a dollop of whipping cream. That's a nice little treat. We do have some sugar-free Jello here in the house. Okay, I had an ice cream 2 days ago, and now you're craving more. That's the way it works. If you feed the beast wants more. Okay, Charlotte King, what's your take on using raw honey and sweetener to sweeten my coffee? If it works for you, sweetheart, do it. Honey, agave, sugar, beet sugar, 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 sugar. It's all sugar. But if it works for you, fine. Honey is no different than table sugar, than agave, than beet sugar, than raw sugar, than sugar. But if it works, if you can get by with it, that's fine. We don't use it. You've been strictly keto for 6 days. How long does it take to get into ketosis? That can vary person to person. I can't tell you for myself. I'm going to guess it probably took me about a week. I would recommend getting some keto sticks, the urine strips, to test. They're inexpensive and easy to check. Check at night, not in the morning. And and just check. It can take some people longer than others. It really just kind of depends on what you're eating and how strict you're being with the carbs. Christy Brown, having high blood pressure and not so good on the kidneys, should you still do 5 grams of sodium? Okay, if you have high blood pressure, you take care of yourself, all right? Not everyone with high blood pressure is sodium sensitive, okay? But that's something you have to talk with your medical professional or test for yourself, whatever. I take them in about 4 or 5 grams of sodium a day. Okay, Kirby Keto, what do I think of Halo Top ice cream? Let me tell you what. Somebody's shipping me some ice cream. They reached out to me and said, would you please test our low-carb, keto-friendly ice cream? And they're shipping it to me. I intend to do a video in the next few days. It's not Halo, but it's another brand. And I'll tell you, I looked at their label, and I was unimpressed. I will do a story on that. Halo Top ice cream. Look at the carbs. Don't do net carbs. I'm trying to eat 10 or 13 grams of carb a day. I don't know what the serving size for a Halo is, probably half a cup, which is that big. And I don't know how many total carbs there are. They like to talk about net carbs. I don't do net carbs. If it works for you, great. Doesn't work for me. Hey, Lauren, bought keto sticks today. You're in light pink. You are there, girl. Kirby Keto, you just tried some Halo Top, yummy, but some cane sugar in there. Okay, Debbie, yeah, be careful, cane sugar. See, I closed the door, so Piper needs to get out now. Had it open, freezing my buns off. Okay, Christy Brown, thanks for my mom. That's nice. Gomez MH, now that you mentioned carbs, should I count net carbs or total carbs? I always subtract the fiber from the carbs. Different people do different things. I do total carbs. Net carbs, I think, can be a slippery slope. And also, according to Dr. Westman, the science is unclear about the fact that fiber is not absorbed and not necessarily that all fiber is the same. So I do total carbs. But you do what works for you. Linnea, 7 weeks on keto, would you say you're fat adapted? Sweetheart, I have no idea. Are you in ketosis? I don't know. Okay, instant sugar-free Jello pudding and 2 cups whipping cream. Freeze that's your new ice cream. That sounds good. Okay, it is, I've been here about, I think about 30 minutes, 35 or 40 minutes. I'm going to start to wrap up. If anyone wants to shoot me something, great. Thank you so much, you guys, for allowing me to be a part of your evening as it is now, or whenever you're seeing this. And I look forward to doing more. Your support means a whole lot. Your participation means a great deal. And I get more out of this than you guys do, I think, some days, for sure. Another couple of questions. If you're in ketosis, are you fat adapted? If you've been in ketosis for a while, that means you're burning ketones for fuel. Yeah, you get to the point where you're fat adapted. That's kind of what that means. You're fat adapted. Ketones are your preferred fuel, and that's kind of what your body's running on. Everything's cooking with gas, as they say. Oh, that's nice. Sammy says, finally got to see your cute face live. Yay. And on that, we will leave this. I'm going to do a Facebook Live on Saturday morning, YouTube Live Monday morning. I do have some more straight up videos planned, so I'll be getting those in. And I got a really good response to my week in food. You know, a day in the life of what I eat is not very interesting because I don't eat that much food. But I put together a compilation of a week around our house. And that went over very well. So I want to try to keep that up and probably try to post that on Sundays. Okay, you guys, be sweet. Everyone enjoy your evening. Thank you for allowing me to join it. And we will look forward to getting together again real soon. Peace.